Are you getting ready for a multi-week event or maybe even a multi-day event and it's the longest event that you've done and you're wanting to make sure that you're packing everything you need and you're not forgetting any of the little things? Well, I'm an event planner that does multiple multi-week events a year internationally and in the US, and I do have a go-to list of what I like to remember to pack, and I might have a tip or two that you haven't thought of to make your time away from home feel a little bit more like home. I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, but I execute events here and all over the world. I do want to remind you to like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell so you get notified every single Monday when I drop new videos. I'm also the co-host of the Better Events podcast with fellow event pro Mary Davidson. We dive even more into these topics that I talk about here on my YouTube channel. Think of them a little bit more long form, and it's a podcast, so a little easier to take with you on the go. We have episodes about stage managing, fundraising events, financial lessons we've learned as running our own business. You name it, there's an episode on it. So listen wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, so packing for a multi-week event is a different beast than packing for like a one-day event or even a two-day event, because when I say multi-week, I'm saying like 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Last year in 2023, I was in Chile for 6 weeks. And so it's just a different beast of what you need to think to pack. And so I kind of split my suitcase. I always like to take 2 suitcases. Let's start basic here. 2 suitcases. And I have 1 suitcase is my clothes, and 1 suitcase is what I like to call life. And so the clothes one, that kind of depends on the project I'm working. Sometimes if it's a sporting event, I'm going to need different kind of clothing than if I do for my corporate event. I do laugh. I did a corporate show a couple months ago, I think, and I was laughing that my entire suitcase was like 80% black, all blacks, because that's what I need to wear for load in and show days. And it was just funny to see the visual of literally 75% of it all black, and then just maybe some workout clothes that were in a different color. But that's clothes, so that kind of depends on your clients. But in my life bag that I've started packing, this can be as robust or as simple. On a smaller scale, I have a home kit, I call, that I think I've talked about here on YouTube. Just like you have your, toiletry kit for the things you need in the bathroom and the shower, I decided to make a home kit that's like in a little container, just like my toiletries are, that has like twinkle lights and a massage ball for my feet and some Epsom salts if I have a bath at my hotel room that I can use to soak my feet, and a few other little, I think I have like a heating pad for my back if I have back pain. Just kind of like little things that make me feel a little extra homey. I also put cutlery in there, like a fork, a knife, a spoon. Never know when you need those. And then the twinkle lights are my favorite that I have that are on a timer, so I can set them the first night. When I come home, they'll be on at night, which is just, for me, warms up the space when I'm in a hotel. But that's the succinct version. Longer version of what I love to bring. I think from a work perspective, in that life bag, I always make sure that I have my like on-site kit for events. And this can look different for everyone, but just the little things like a stapler, extra staples, tape, scissors, even like the really small scissors. They don't have to be the big industrial ones. I have had to figure out printing at different hotels in different countries, and I found just having even those 3 things of stapler, tape, scissors has been super helpful. I'm also in the production world, and so I've gotten some gaff tape, GAFF. This is the tape that doesn't leave a sticky residue, so it's really good for cables, or if you have to mark a position somewhere. I have it now. I always bring like in black, and then like a hot pink or a different color is really helpful. But those are kind of parts of my like work kit, in addition to having all of the dongles for all of the plugins for my laptop and all the things I could potentially need to bring. This most recent project I was on at the Olympics, my USB was really helpful, and that kind of surprised me. I had some folks that we were working with who didn't bring a USB, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank God, because it was really easy for printing. Sometimes it's good from your device, but just having an easy USB that I can drop files on, plug into a printer, and work has been super helpful. I also then, from like a laundry perspective, when you're here for multiple weeks, making sure that you're bringing some stain remover and some laundry detergent or tabs. I usually was a little like pods girly. This year is the first trip that I've done where I'm doing the laundry detergent sheets. So they're actually dry, which made it way easier to pack than the pods. And each sheet is a load, and the box I got is pretty small, but it's up to 50 loads. So I've been using that, and it's been really helpful, both for washing in the actual like laundry machine, but then I can also, in the sheet, I can rip off little pieces if we're doing some sink laundry, because sink laundry is a thing, guys. If you're going to be on the road for this much, long days, I am not able to do laundry as often as I need to wash some things. So I am doing some sink laundry, but having stain remover and laundry detergent is just so crucial. Other parts of my life kit that are more on like the food side of things, I found having a mug, both a travel mug. I love my Stojo. It's a collapsible like coffee cup that I can do tea or coffee, and I love it collapses down so it can be in my backpack when I'm on site, and it seals so it doesn't leak even if you have a little liquid, residue left at the bottom. And then a real mug. This applies no matter if I'm international or domestic, because I've been at some domestic hotels in the US that I get sick of drinking out of paper cups with my coffee after a while. So having a physical mug, as well as a water bottle. I feel like at this point it's almost standard for everyone to bring one, but bring your own reusable water bottle. You can usually find a place to fill it up for you, or like I've been having here, I'm in Paris for the Olympics, and downstairs they know me as I come down, and I'm the gal who comes to get hot water for my coffee mug, and I come back up and I make tea. Also just the little things, like when I say for my life, I love to put snacks. My hack is I usually bring snacks wherever I go in my suitcase so that I'm going to eat the snacks while I'm working. That means I have space in my suitcase for whatever I accumulate, whether that's uniform, gifts that I get from people I work with, or gifts that I'm bringing home for other people after my project. Like, you want to make sure that you always have a little extra space, because your stuff either is going to expand or you're going to accumulate things. And I've found having snacks or something edible in my bag is a great way to just magically make some extra space. If you're someone who loves movement, I found a really nice foldable yoga mat that I got from Lululemon. It is a little heavy, like heavier than your classic roll-up mats, but it does fold, and it actually works for yoga. I'm somebody who sweats a lot, and having that yoga mat just helps me like make an area, whether it's in my room or in the hotel gym, that I'm like, this is mine. This is my mat. I'm going to take this back. It's just there's like a cleanliness factor I like, and a mental part that if I have my yoga mat, I'm that much more likely to actually work out. I also like to bring bands with me, as well as little like massage balls. I mentioned I usually bring one in my home kit, but when I travel for longer, I'll bring a couple different ones for rolling out my feet for how long I'm on site. And then the bands are a great way to kind of simulate having weight and resistance training without adding that weight to the suitcase. So yeah, so those are just a few of the things I pack in my life kit. I feel like a couple other stuff that my longer term, these like multi-week events, I've found it's like bringing like dish towels if you're going to have a sink to be able to wash things, even bringing a little cutting board and a little like paring knife just to be able to cut things up. Where I'm staying right now for this project, I don't have access to a kitchen, but I did bring it just in case. And I'll end up just packing it back with me, but those are helpful. Also getting Ziploc baggies if you have like a big stash at home. I just feel wasteful buying stuff here when I really only need a few things. I now bring like a bag of Ziploc baggies that are fresh and new that I can use, just, again, not knowing what I'm going to need them for while I'm here on the road. So those are just some kind of helpful little things to make sure that you're thinking of all the life stuff that you might need when you're on the road for a multi-week event. Let me know what you pack. I'm always looking for new improvements and new things to add to my kits. So what are your favorite things to take on the road for your next event? Again, multi-weeks are such a long marathon compared to your 1 to 2 day events. So I appreciate you for watching. I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, but I execute events here and all over the world. I want to thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you in my next video.